Hello, calculus scholars. Mr. Benzel here on week 2 of e-learning. And today we're going to learn an integration method that is going to get us to party more and study less. So if we have an integral that looks something like what's on the top of the screen here, something like that, normally we'd panic. But I claim that you don't have to panic if you know how to do U-Substitution, and you could actually turn this into a pretty familiar looking, almost power rule type of integral. And where U-Substitution comes from is the chain rule in derivatives. And we even like to call U-Substitution the anti-chain rule. And what this does, really, is when we do a chain rule, if we kind of recall, we take maybe something that's inside of a parentheses, like the negative 3x to the 5th plus 1, and we called it u. And we took the derivative of that, and we got negative 15x to the 4th. So, what we actually did back in the day, we rewrote y in terms of u. So we said that y was equal to u to the 3rd. Actually, we'll make that 3rd in black because that was kind of part of the original function. And when we took the derivative, what we did, we wrote y prime is equal to 3u squared, and then we included a du at the end. And so what we did was we actually substituted in for u the negative 3x to the 5th plus 1, and then we multiplied by that du, which was negative 15x to the 4th. And if you got to this step, you convinced me pretty well that you were pretty good with the chain rule and its idea. Let's try one more for part B. Now in part B, we got a radical type of scenario instead. So our u was everything that was inside of a radical. So our u in this case was negative 2x squared plus 1. And our du, the derivative of that thing, was negative 4x. So if our original function was changed to be in terms of u, we would write this as the negative square root of u. And I kind of like writing this a little bit better as negative u to the half. And if we took the derivative of that thing, we called it negative 1/2 u to the negative 1/2 du. And then we could just put in our u and our du. So our u was that negative 2x squared plus 1 to the negative half. And then our du was negative 4x. So in the next examples that you're going to see in the next video, you're going to see the anti-chain rule. And in some ways, it's kind of like the chain rule, but in reverse. As with a good chain rule setup, when we kind of look at the steps that you're going to see, we're going to identify what our U is. Then we're going to find what our DU is going to be. We're going to solve for dx, or its equivalent. And then we're going to turn it into a new and improved U integral, integrate that easier version, and then put things back in terms of x. So there's a lot of similarities in that process to the chain rule, but we're going to kind of see it now in the integral form, and we will call this U-Substitution. So please tune in, and you will see how we do that in the next video.